So I remember walking here as a kid as a jolly, happy, cute guy. It was 2009. I remember I was really struggling with whether I was gay or not. Well, I am, and I was. But back then I didn't have I think I had a girlfriend, and I didn't have any sense of myself. I was bullied. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was. And I remember walking here in my shorts and floating over the street with a sort of anxiety that I didn't know whether I was walking in my own shoes or not. Well, that's just the insecurities that come with puberty, I suppose, and with discovering who you truly are. And I was too young and too, I don't know, estranged from the world. I didn't have any worldly experience whatsoever. I grew up in a small town. I wasn't exposed to anything whatsoever. So I just tried to follow my friends who were all straight and had girlfriends. And I just tried to do the same because otherwise I didn't know how to survive. And now I look back, being here a decade and a half later, and I think to myself, hasn't time just flown by? Look, there's a modern tram. I remember seeing shaking trams here. Look at this. Look at this. And if you had walked here in 2009, you would have thought you're in the Soviet Union or something. Just the cars, just everything, just so ramshackle, looking so different from what we're used to. And nowadays the trams are more modern than in Amsterdam. And when I walk here, I think, where has time gone? And sometimes it's a good realization to have, where has time gone? But it's better to have it in the middle of your life, or let's say a quarter of your life, and then thinking, where has time gone? And only 10, 15 years have passed. And I'd like to say that when you actually live your life in the full sense of the word, you go explore, you're alone at times, you feel what it means to be alive, you go on adventures, you don't get stuck in routines too much. That's when you truly delve into time, and that's when you can expand the time warp, let's say. Time, in a magical sense of the word, is very, how should I say it? You can stretch time to last longer than it actually is. In the magical sense of the word, when you break up routines in your life, when you take care not to get stuck in routines, when you switch jobs every now and then, take a couple of months in between to go explore, to go on adventures without any plans. You go be alone for 3 months on end. I know not everybody can afford that, so it might sound kind of privileged, but if you're single and you should do that, because that's how you expand time. It is in a sense elastic. And when you look back at a full decade and you've only worked your office job and you've had your mortgage paid down by only a couple of terms, and you have your home, you have your wife, you have your kids, you might be very happy. But the 10 years seem like one block of time. And that's how you've sort of compressed time to one block of a decade. And what you can do in real time is chop up that block of compressed time. And before you actually look back, when you're 40, you stand on a balcony at a seaside resort at your one time per year vacation. You look back and thinking, where has time gone? I'm 40 now. In order to avoid that, you need to chop up the time in advance. So what you do is you break up your routine, no matter how hard it seems. You cut it up. You go move to another country. You have separate relationships. You make trips that last longer. You're alone for a significant portion of time. Or you do other things. No, but not everybody's like me. But you chop up that block of time in advance before it happens. You make segments of it, you make fragments. And then once you actually look back, you have chapters in your life to look back on. And everything becomes a chapter that you can index, in a sense. Your mind is just a big computer that has several indexes. So once you browse through your index, you have your chapter of relationship with this girl or this guy, living in this city, living in that city. And when you can sort of move back or look back through the chapters, that's when you actually notice that you've truly lived. And I'm a big proponent of making such index in your head, and that's how defragmentation works, in a sense. So you need to actively fragmentate your life, to spice it up, in a sense, and to make these chapters that once you look back you have something, a chapter to read back in the back of your mind, and then you actually reflect on what it was. And that's when you won't get anxious that time has passed, because in a sense it happens, or it hasn't happened. The only thing that happened is you move to a different chapter, and it will make you less anxious to look back at 10 different chapters rather than just one of 100 pages, or translated 10 years, if you catch my drift. I don't know if that makes any sense. In other cases, this is the city of Szeged, where I was in 2009. I'm very happy to be back, healthy, alone right now, but in a good state of mind. Okay, I'll catch you later.